Let's say we have two switches, switch X and switch Y, that are connected by a trunk. Now both switches have no domain name or password, and both are in VTP server mode. Switch X supports VLANs with VLAN ID 1, 2, and 1002 through 1005, and switch Y supports VLANs with VLAN ID 1 and 1002 to 1005. Switch X has VTP revision number 5 and IP address 172.16.0.105, and switch Y has VTP revision number 1 and IP address 172.16.0.106. Now, you want to configure switch X as a server with the VTP domain name sams-domain. The VTP password sams-password and VTP pruning enabled. For switch Y, you want to configure client VTP mode, sams-domain as the VTP domain, and sams-password as the VTP password. Let's take a brief look at the 6 simple steps involved in this VTP configuration. Step 1, you configure the VTP mode. Step 2, you configure the VTP domain name. Step 3, you assign a case-sensitive password to VTP clients and servers. Step 4, you configure VTP pruning on the VTP servers. Step 5, you enable version 2 of VTP. And finally, Step 6, you establish trunks between the switches. Note that steps 3, 4, and 5 are optional steps in VTP configuration. Let's begin VTP configuration on switch X and switch Y. First, enter the VTP mode server command in the configuration mode of switch X to configure VTP server mode. Then, enter the VTP domain sams-domain command. Next, enter the VTP password sams-password command. Finally, you enter the VTP pruning command to enable pruning on switch X. Now it's time to configure VTP on switch Y. First, enter the VTP mode client command to configure VTP client mode on switch Y. Then, configure the domain name and password in the same way as you've done for switch X. Because of trunking between switches X and Y, switch Y, which is in VTP client mode, synchronizes its VLAN database with switch X, which is in VTP server mode.